Greetings, infinite blessings, and welcome to another moment of now. Another episode of Hump Day Healing. Midweek, getting up to that crest of the wave so that we can enjoy as we start to surf down through the more joyful elements. Everything goes up and down in waveform. That is why we surf upon these waves together. Marnie, how are you? Trust you are well. Who else is on? Where is everybody? How is everybody? I'm still not aware whether I can be actually receiving messages, but here I am. So if I don't reply, it's because they don't come up for whatever reason. So today's episode is going to be about divide and conquer. Divide and conquer in the global scale of things. I will perform some healing, some energy healing work. But first I will discuss what is taking place energetically as well as physically, consciously, because everything is energy. Everything we perceive in life is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and it's our human perception which then allows us to actually experience this wonderful gift that we call life. There is an agenda. There is an agenda to divide us, to put us into small, little, neat, manageable boxes, to ensure that we jump whenever they say, and we ask how high, and then thank them for the opportunity to jump for them, believing that we are jumping to the true heights of our potential. In truth, we are slaves. We are a modern day form of slave. Free will governs all, and freely giving away your power, your creatorship to another is freedom of choice. Anytime that you enter into that role of being a victimhood, you are choosing to take upon that character role within this play, within this game of life. Life can be looked at most simplistically like a film, like a computer game. We go through various, let's talk about it as a computer game. You're the main character. You start the game unaware of what's taking place, where you are. You get a feel for what's going on. You meet other characters in your game. Some of them are beneficial. They uplift you, they motivate you, they support you along your journey. Other ones actually are there to hinder you, to block you. They are the bosses in the game to overcome so you can complete that level to move on to the next one. Somebody who has wronged you in the past has actually given you the opportunity to learn and grow from that experience. You are character one. You are player one. But in truth, that is the egoic self. You are the person, the being behind the character playing the game. And that is your higher self. And once you actually go beyond that, you not only created the game to then be able to play the game and be the character in the game, but you are beyond even the game. You are everything in creation, you created it all, yet you are nothing at all. It's a very bizarre concept to embody, but once you do touch upon that state, that sensation, to know that you are everything and that you are the most important thing, being, entity within the entire universe, because without you the universe would not exist, but at the same time you matter not, because what does it matter? None of it matters. From the start of your life to the end of your life, everything in the middle is an adventure. You're born and then you die. They're the facts of life. You're going to die, 100%. We all know this to be true. So the journey in between is there to be enjoyed, to be experienced. But in truth, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you experience joy and bliss or hardship and pain. What matters is that you know that you create it all, that you are within the driving seat, that you are the main character within that game. And even in truth, that doesn't matter. If it's a computer game, you're character one, knowing that because of the existence of duality, there's always going to be an up and there's always going to be a down to balance it out. There's always going to be somebody who is living blissfully and somebody who is living in the reverse to bring that balance to the equation on a mathematical level. There's nothing you can do to another that you do not do upon yourself. An act of kindness to another person is an act of kindness to yourself. An act of hatred to another person is an act of hatred to yourself. There is no separation. Yet you experience your egoic self firsthand. You experience your avatar body, your avatar being. Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. So why not make your game, your experience, your character have the most joyful experience possible? Not at the hardship of another, but at the benefit of another. Because by uplifting somebody else, you uplift yourself. By doing a good deed towards somebody else, it comes back upon you. It is all mirrored. As above, so below. As within, so without. There's nothing that you do to another person that you do not do upon yourself. Divide and conquer is using the ego's fear of the unknown to keep us within small, little, neat, manageable boxes, bubbles, so that we're not more than 2 meters in any direction able to come into contact with anybody. It's all part of a bigger agenda, as I'm sure most of you listening to this are completely aware. If you believe otherwise, if you believe that it's just an epidemic, a pandemic which has naturally arisen and that there's no secret agenda to it, then please let me know your viewpoint on it. Because by sharing information, we're able to then learn and to grow together. I forget everything that I know so that I can learn afresh each day. Baking a cake. You're taught certain ingredients to bake with. But if you use those base ingredients and nothing else through your entire life, then you're never going to experience any other flavour of cake. By taking other people's ingredients, adding a little pinch of this, a little dab of that, try it at least. You may not like it, and then you can just take the ingredient back out. But if you don't try it, you will never know. And you have the ability to experience everything and anything. Anything you can experience in your mind, you can then experience in reality, because your mind is reality. Everything that you experience now, and knowing that now is the only time it exists, right? Does everybody listening understand the concept of the power of now? Has everybody read the book, The Power of Now? If you have not, I strongly suggest that you do, because it's a very powerful book. If not, then in simplistic terms, now is the only time that exists. It is all a grand illusion, created by the self, for the self. Hide and seek. A game of hide and seek. And that's why it matters not. Because it doesn't matter if you find yourself or not. Because you are the only character in the game. The power of now. Now is the only time that exists. This moment of now. This moment of now. This moment of now. Every moment of now. Now is the only time that exists. When you bring your attention into the present moment, the gift of now, you bypass the ego. This is why meditation is so powerful for bypassing and moving past or around or away from egoic control. Brother, how are you? So by living in this present moment, the gift of now, you are consciously present and everything is perfect. As it is. Your memory of the past, when you think back to the past, egoically, to start with, the ego will always bring up memories of the past. This is what brings up depression. Forward projections is what creates anxiety. Past memories of events of past only exist within your mind. It's your memory of the past, and it's your personal perception of that event. It doesn't mean the event actually took place in that way. It's just the way that you perceived it and the way that it affected you. And then you've locked that image in your mind and you carry it forward with you. The present moment, the gift of now. In truth, now only exists in your mind, nowhere else. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And it does so in waveform. It's all just energy. But we perceive some of it to be a solid wall, some of it to be me, some of it to be you, some of it to be whatever it is within this physical realm. But we only perceive it as such because of our human senses and our ability to perceive energy vibrating at different frequencies in a material solid form, or a sound frequency, or light, or whatever other medium. It's all just energy. Therefore, it's your interpretation of this energy which you then create reality, or an image, a perception of reality in your mind, and you then experience reality through your mind. Therefore, if you close your eyes and picture yourself flying, that reality exists alongside the reality that you are sat within the chair. Just because you are sat in this 3D realm, on this 3D chair, it doesn't mean that you can't then travel astrally to anywhere that you choose using the mind. This is how we get away and around the illusions of separation, the illusions of control and division. And the future is your full projection of an unknown event, and I want to control it or to manipulate it to be a certain way, or most often not be a certain way. This is what brings up anxiety. Or there's a potential dangerous or fearful situation. If I focus really intently on it, then I'll be able to change it. Actually, no. You'll create that exact event. I know this firsthand. The law of attraction dictates that whatever you vibrate at is what you attract. And again, this is the image that I was given, so it's the terminology, the story I always use. Imagine yourself as a vessel, as a boat sailing upon the seas. If there's some rocks to your right and a beautiful open scenery to your left, and you focus on the rocks, you are directing the ship towards the rocks. Yes, acknowledge there are rocks over there. Yes, acknowledge the fact that potentially the wind has blown you in the direction, or that you have focused in that way and then you're heading in that direction. But then change your focus of attention back towards that direction that you wish to travel towards, that you wish to experience. If you start heading down the path of lack and imitation, then where do you think you're going to end up? Focus on the positives in your garden, the positives in your life. Focus on the flowers in your garden and grow them. Leave the weeds in the darkness. Acknowledge there are weeds there to start with, but leave them there. Because unless you pluck them out right from the root, you will focus upon them, you will pluck them out, and they will actually grow back bigger, stronger, with more conviction. This is what I do. I go right to the root cause of situational perceptions, traumas, past events that have traumatized you, that have created negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, that have brought about negative emotions, behaviors which are less than desirable, habits, addictions, etc., etc. I liberate people from all sorts of things, and it is a gift to do so. And I can do so because I believe I can do so, because I can, and because I believe in you, and I believe that you can. Otherwise, none of it works. So how do we overcome the divide and conquer regime which is currently being implemented upon us? Well, again, if we focus on it, we grow it. I know what they're doing. I have a very, very clear image because I'm given it. And I used to have a very clear image of the future. And that was partly the reason that I got to where I did. Incomplete, give up, face down in the mud, in the dark. That's it. Since I've started doing the inner work and then being able to project that outwards, being that beacon of light and inspiration, my image has changed. The future has changed. The world has changed because I have changed. As above, so below. As within, so without. I used to have an image likened to, it was a mix between Terminator and the Matrix, basically, We were governed and controlled and a little bit Hunger Gamesy. It was all AI operated. We had AI installed. We got to the point where integration of AI into the human being was the new enslavement. It was the new mortgage. You had to get these new chips in order to be able to keep up with productivity, to be able to get the best jobs. But in order to buy the chips, you had to spend a lot of money. You had to get them on a mortgage as such. And then you had to get the best job to be able to buy the chip, and you were trapped within this system. If you didn't have the chip, you were seen as less than, as scum. And this is what is currently taking place. Again, those of us which are normal, everyday people are being taken for a ride, having less and less given to us and expected to do more and more. People that are middle class, people that are still going to work, but seeming to take 3 times as long to do the same job because of COVID, even though there's less people going anywhere, and it doesn't make sense when you consciously think about it. Oh, COVID, it takes 3 times as long because of COVID. But you're all still working, but, it's fine, just takes longer. Okay, whatever. They will be the new chipped people, let's say. But from doing the work, my image of the future has changed to one where, yes, there is technology, but we use technology to the advantage of ourselves, but more importantly, Mother Nature. We live in harmony with our planet, with our mother, and we live in harmony with one another. A world of true equality. This is the purpose of everything I do, to create that charity in the future and to then create a world of true equality. And it all does start with the children and the mothers, the women. It is you women that will lead us into the world of tomorrow, and it is the divine masculine who has the honour to hold the space, to provide the security for you to then flow rhythmically and majestically towards that destination. Is the unity of masculine and feminine. At the moment we're masculine. It's way too masculine. Divide and conquer, everything in a box, squares, straight lines. Doesn't work. If you focus on the repression, if you focus on the fear, if you focus on the divide and conquer, if you focus on the negatives, then you are projecting your energy towards that, and you are growing that very thing. What you focus upon grows. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and what you focus upon grows. Again, back to the garden. You are the mighty sun. Wherever you shine your light of attention will grow. Shine your attention on the beautiful flowers in the garden and you will grow them. Focus them on the weeds and the thorns and the thistles and you shall grow those. Please unite with me in love. Focus upon love and grow it within yourself and everybody else. Every time somebody negatively affects you, every time somebody looks at you in a way which would have otherwise aggravated or irritated you, every time somebody talks down to you or belittles you or undermines you, whatever it is, shine love upon them and it will disappear. Shine love upon yourself, and those aspects of self-hatred, self-judgment and ridicule will disappear. Love is likened to light. It transcends and dissolves any darkness. Darkness is required for light to shine upon, yes, but light transcends darkness, and no darkness added will extinguish that light. You can put layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of darkness around the light, but the light in the centre will always be burning bright. Just within every single person, there is always that light. No matter how narcissistic they may seem, no matter how much of an arsehole that they are, it's not their fault. It's a program they're running. They're so separated from the truth of who they are and the love within themselves and within you that they require even more love. They require even more space. I see you. It's not your fault. And I love you. That's it. Don't get angry for a monkey climbing a tree. Don't get angry at a fish for swimming in the sea. Don't get angry for a politician trying to control and manipulate you to their own gain. It's what they do. It's who they are. It's part of the program. It's part of the game. But remember, you are the main character, and this is your game. And you can create that character, in whichever way it is, the villain, with as much power and authority over you as you decide. If you want to feel daily repression, go ahead and keep going down that path. But if you want to experience liberation, then join me, unite with me in love, and let us create a world of true equality for all, starting now, the only time that exists. Sleep is very important. How is everybody? Yeah, it is. And yeah, it doesn't matter. Between being born and dying, it's all just an experience. We're going to die anyway, so what does it matter? Between the start of existence and the end of it, it's all just an experience, so what does it matter? If the universe ended now, would it matter? No, because there would be nothing to experience, so it wouldn't matter. None of it matters. On the grandest of scales, it doesn't matter. And to be able to expand your perception of an event is likened to being able to see the bigger picture, to see the whole picture. And by being able to see the whole picture, you can find the information that you're looking for. Again, this is my favourite one because it was the most powerful one that I learned from my teacher all those years ago, the amazing Ajahn Brahm. Anybody who is interested in Buddhism and finds a direction or a calling towards it is where I started my journey of meditation and self-mastery. And after discovering source energy and universal energy, let's say, that was it. That was the missing piece of the jigsaw that Buddhism couldn't quite deliver for myself. But this, again, is my perception, my interpretation. In truth, all religions are correct because they're all built around the foundation or from the foundation of love. Some of them have been manipulated over time so that they're all crooked and jagged, going off in a different direction, but you follow it all the way back to the root, and it's love, always. The one true religion is love, and the only commandment is to love yourself and everybody else. But if you don't feel like doing that, then that's perfect as well, because it brings balance to the equation. Whoever you are, whatever you're here to do or experience, please just do it to the best of your ability, or if you'd rather not, do it to the worst of your ability. Whatever you desire to create, create it, knowing that you are creating it, knowing that you hold the paintbrush, and whatever colour that you dip it into on a daily basis and then paint that artwork of your life will be the picture that you create and the picture that you leave behind for those in future generations to look upon. That you hold the pen and you create each daily input to the story of your life. What did today's input say? I got up, went to work, had dinner, watched telly, went to bed. So many people's inputs are that. Today I awoke with the sun shining upon my face. I jumped out of bed with a joyful and blissful excitement to start the adventure of today. I went in the shower and cleansed my physical and energetic body with that beautiful water and allowed it to wash over me, cleansing me of all of yesterday's events, bringing me into a fresh and new perspective to start today as though it's the first day that I'd ever experienced, so that I can go forward with that joyful, blissful wonderment, that childlike wonderment, to be excited for everything that I experience. And that's only the first 5 minutes. Your story you can create will be either not even worth looking at or a masterpiece to leave behind and pass on to generations to come. But again, none of it matters. So do whatever you want to do. And that, my friends, is the truth of it all. If anyone would like any particular healings, please let me know. Otherwise I'm going to do, okay. I would like for you to picture the person that you know that exists in the most severe state of repression, of division from themselves and from everybody else. Picture them within a box. Picture whoever it is that you would like to feel that freedom and liberation within a box. I am placing Mother Earth within a box. And then within that box, I place myself. And I fill myself with the light of the universe, with the light of all things. Taking a deep, cleansing, purifying and grounding breath in, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. With the next breath in, I would like for you to breathe in that clean, universal, pranic life force energy, that beautiful gold and white light. Breathing in through the nose for the count of 4. Holding at the top of the breath for the count of 4. And breathing out for the count of 4. Breathing out anything and everything which no longer serves you. Holding at the bottom of the breath for 4. Before repeating this life-giving cycle. And likened to blowing up a balloon, but in reverse. Every time that you breathe in, I would like for you to breathe in that life force, that love, that pranic energy from the universe around you, breathing it into you, expanding your energetic self, your auric body, your auric field, expanding the light within you so that it emanates out from you to the surroundings around you. And feel as you begin to pulsate and vibrate. And as you lower your hands to your side, notice the energy building up within your hands. And that this energy is actually shining from your hands. And if you hold your hands together, close together, you can actually feel them pushing apart from one another. And you can create an energy ball. Simple energy ball. And with this energy ball, you can grow it. Growing it and growing it and growing it. Breathing that life force energy into it. And as you grow this ball, as it gets bigger and bigger, as it continues to expand, watch, likened to a balloon being blown up, with each breath becoming bigger and bigger, more expansive, more fulfilled, holding all that beautiful energy. And continue to blow up, to expand, to fill this bubble of light, this ball of energy, until it touches the sides, the insides of this box. And continue to build it up, to grow it, to expand it, to magnify it. Continue to breathe that beautiful life force energy in to that energy ball. The energy ball now that is larger than the earth itself, that has completely surrounded the earth. And with the next breath in, bring in all of your guides, all of your tribe, all of your ancestors, your higher self, and with access to your Akashic records, information from all past lives, the ability that you possess, that you are able to tap into and to use now. Blow. And watch as each side of that box disintegrates, pops off, dissolves, and floats away. So that the energy can be reclaimed, recycled, redistributed, and made into something new. Knowing that energy can never be destroyed, only recycled. Having taken off this box of separation, this illusion of control, open your eyes and view the world for the first time in a long time with optimism. True, deep and grounding optimism. Not just a feeling of positivity, but a knowing that everything we're experiencing now is taking us into that beautiful heaven on earth that we are creating in this very moment. That we exist in completion, and that we are stepping towards now. Everything exists now, as now is the only time. We have reached our destination now, we just have not experienced it in this present, current moment of now. But we will do very soon. And I thank you for everything that you do in leading and guiding yourself and everybody else back home to that eternal aspect of self, the infinite self. And once again, to bring this degree of unity, to bypass the ego's fear mechanism of separation. The ego will condemn. Anything it does not understand, it will condemn. It will condemn anybody that is different to it because it does not understand them, and it would rather defy and deny something it does not understand than accept that it is in a place of inability. It feels insecure if it actually admits that it does not know. It's the mighty ego, I know everything. But in truth, we know nothing. We just believe that we know certain things. But in truth, I know nothing at all. The information that I channel through me resonates with me. My core, my soul knows it to be true. But my conscious mind just interprets that information. Creating unity one consciousness in the self, bringing back all parts of yourself that are lost and fragmented in the darkness so that you can integrate them back and create that state of unity one consciousness so that you can then experience blissful and joyful, if even only momentary, states of enlightenment. That's what it's all about. And that is what I will bring to you. If you feel guided to work with me, then please send me a message. We will see if you are in a position where you are ready to walk that path, because it is very difficult. It's very difficult to open that door. Right, you're in a room, this is your world. Over in the corner there's a door. The other side of that door is your freedom, your liberation, the life of your dreams. Your ego will go, yeah, might be, but it could be a big monster. Okay, it could be. It's up to you. You can stay living in this room. You can go to the door, where I guarantee you is your liberation. But I also would suggest that there probably is going to be a monster, because that's the reason that you've locked the door and put away that part of yourself within the darkness. Anytime that you experience trauma, experience something which you perceive to be negative on a subconscious level, your subconscious mind will fragment part of yourself off, as though you're a tree with all these different branches. One of the branches experiences something traumatic, so it's snapped off and placed in a box and hidden away in the darkness. then the tree feels incomplete. So it walks around, as trees do, trying to find completion in something outside itself, in another person, in achieving certain things, in material objects, whatever it is. Or it will try to cover up the feeling of incompletion by using substances or chasing quick fixes and highs. Wow, that's where I come in, because I have the key. I can provide you the key. There's no need to break down that door. And it is better to open it up, knowing that you can close it again if you require, because it gives the ego mind a more sense of control and security over the situation. You break it down, everything comes rushing out. It may be too much to face all at once. But together, we will walk back into that darkness. Discover the parts of yourself fragmented and lost and hidden away there. Bring them back into the self, inner child integration, past life traumatic events, and any form of limitation or negative beliefs, overcoming them all, simply as that. And I know it sounds bizarre, but I've gone from 18 stone of rage and anger, fueled by rage, fucking like bubbling, to somebody who expresses love for my fellow man and woman, or whichever way that you wish to be classed or seen, whichever label that you wish to take upon yourself. But in truth, labels only limit us. If you label yourself left or right, red or blue or red, then you can only ever exist within those labels. I'm labelless, I'm limitless. Impossible means I am possible. And that, in truth, is all that is required, the possibility. And then the determination and willpower and conviction to achieve. Love is the answer. It is love that is the key. The key that will unlock that door deep within and set not only you, but the whole world free. I'm here to provide you that key, but you must pick it up and open the door yourself. I will guide you all the way. It is your journey, your adventure, your story. How will you create it? The successful victor who creates everything in their life, or the victim who is always waiting for something to happen for them or to them? Victim or creator, it's your decision. I know who I am. I know who you are. But it is you that must decide to accept responsibility for your life, with an acceptance of all past events, letting them go, existing again in that state of flow, and then optimism to the future, to create the life of your dreams, knowing that failure is only learnings. Falling around in learning into realizing everything, failure. Falling around in learnings into realizing everything. Failure is falling around in learnings until realizing everything. You will fail all the way up to the moment where you will be no more. As once you know everything, you will cease to be, as there will be nothing left to discover. So until that point, you will always fail. And the more you fail, the quicker or the more likely you are to succeed. The more situations you learn how to fall over in, the more situations you fall over in, the more you learn how to get back up in. These little things that spin around in my head and get jumbled up together sometimes. And that is it. It is unwinding all those lines, all those pathways, so that we can see where each one goes, so we can choose which one to focus our attention upon and to walk down towards that decided destination, towards that happy ever after. Beautiful. Sending you all infinite blessings, love and light. Thank you for joining me. If you are just joining, then it's been a very educational episode as always. So I strongly suggest that you go back and listen to it, and please share with anybody it may assist. I have recently released a podcast, Midday Mindfulness. It is the radio show, which the radio show is on episode, it will be coming out to episode 5, but I'm releasing it as a podcast as well now, and it will also be a YouTube series soon. So it provides more mediums for people to be able to receive that information. Podcast is very, very good. It's something which I have slipped into that role with ease, and it's so pleasurable, so joyful. So I strongly suggest that if you have a look at my profile, it will have a recent link to the podcast, or in the link tree, it's in there. Or head over to YouTube, because not only will that be there, but there is a multitude of information, of knowledge there. All the information gifted to me by Source. The most recent one is a poem. If you have not yet listened to my poem, please go and listen to it. It was something else. It is something else. It took me nearly 3 days to make, but it's worth every single moment. Ended up with my wrist clicking because of all the work, tirelessly creating the imagery to this video, and I am very pleased with it. Powerful poetry. It is. It's all poetry. You're a poet, and your poem is your life story. You're the artist and the artwork. I love you. And until next time, namaste.